Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into something pretty wild. It's a radical vision for a future global society. We're looking at source material that describes a world with no war, no poverty, not even aging. And it claims all of this is possible through incredible technology and a totally new form of global government, one run by a single, powerful AI. So let's break this blueprint down.
Right? I mean, let that sink in for a second. It sounds like something straight out of a science fiction novel, but the source documents we're exploring present this as a very concrete plan. We're going to unpack this detailed blueprint, a vision that promises to fix humanity's biggest problems, all based on a foundation that is, and I'm putting this mildly, pretty surprising.
So, first things first, let's look at the big promise here. The material we're drawing from imagines a future where technology has just wiped out the fundamental challenges of being human. It really paints a picture of a true post-scarcity world. According to this vision, a whole suite of technologies would create what the documents actually call an electronic paradise. We're talking nuclear fusion to give us limitless clean energy, and these things called nanofactories that could theoretically build anything you want, atom by atom. The idea is this would end poverty and all the conflicts over resources for good.
But the vision doesn't just stop at fixing external problems like poverty. It gets way more personal. The sources propose that aging itself becomes a solvable issue. We're talking advanced gene editing and regenerative medicine that wouldn't just add years to your life, but would dramatically extend your health span, the time you get to live in good health.
And the speed at which all this is supposed to happen is just staggering. The documents argue that creating an artificial superintelligence, an ASI, would be the ultimate catalyst. The claim is that it could literally compress a decade of normal, human-led scientific development into just a couple of years. Okay, so let's say you have this technological paradise. Scarcity is gone, aging is a thing of the past. The next massive question is, who is in charge? The answer that's proposed in this material is every bit as radical as the technology itself. The system is called the Electric Technocracy. Think of it as a single global administration. In this world, national borders, political parties, they're all just relics of a bygone era. The whole goal is to maximize efficiency and fairness by taking human error, all the corruption, bias, and short-sightedness, right out of the equation. This really lays out the core argument, the big contrast at the heart of this vision. You're replacing what the source material sees as the chaos and inefficiency of our current political systems with a new structure, one that it claims is built purely on logic, hard data, and the direct will of the people.
Now, you might be thinking, hold on, this sounds like an AI dictatorship. The source material is very clear that it's not. It proposes a process to keep humans in control. You, as a citizen, could propose an idea. The ASI then does all the heavy lifting, the analysis, the modeling, presenting different options. But, and this is the key part, the final decision is always made by a global vote. They call this system direct digital democracy. Of course, the elephant in the room with the global superintelligence is, how do you keep it safe? The documents lay out several layers of protection. It's not just about programming it with human values. They detail this fascinating concept of an independent watchdog AI. This second AI is totally separate, totally isolated, with just one job: monitor the main ASI for any dangerous signs and, if it has to, trigger a physical, hardware-level kill switch. No software overrides, just off. So, in a world where AI and robots can do pretty much everything, what happens to work? Our whole relationship with the economy would have to fundamentally change, right? The source documents don't run from this question. They actually point to real-world analysis, like from the IMF, that suggest AI could disrupt a massive number of jobs. We're talking a potential impact on 40% of the entire global workforce. That's a staggering figure. So what's the proposed solution? Universal Basic Income, or UBI. But in this vision, it's not just a safety net. It's framed as a tool for total liberation. It would be funded by taxes on the insane productivity of all this AI and automation, giving every single person on Earth financial freedom and completely decoupling your survival from your job. The source material uses this great analogy of a genie, or a djinn, being let out of the bottle. In this story, the AI and the robots, they're the wish fulfillers. The idea is that humans, now totally freed from the need to labor for a living, become idea givers. We use AI as this incredibly powerful tool to bring any creation, any dream to life. So this would, in theory, spark a whole new kind of economy. The documents describe a world where literally anyone can have an idea for something, describe it to the AI, and have that AI design it, optimize it, and then have it instantly manufactured and sold on a global marketplace. Your ideas, they literally become your capital. Now, I know what you're thinking. All of this sounds like elaborate, super far-out science fiction. But here's the twist. The source material grounds this entire massive global transformation in a very specific and, according to them, a very real legal event that happened not too long ago. This is maybe the most mind-bending part of the whole vision. The authority to just dissolve all nations and create this new world order. Where does it come from? Well, the claim is it doesn't come from a war or a revolution or a UN treaty. It comes from a single, notarized contract. And here it is. It's called the World Succession Deed 1400/98. The documents present this as the legal trigger, the single event that legally ended the old world order of nation-states and put in place the framework for the electronic technocracy. Okay, the legal argument here it's a lot. So let's walk through it because it's a doozy. It all hangs on this idea of a domino effect. It starts with a simple transaction, the sale of a former military base in Germany. Now, the key term in that contract, according to the source, was that the sale included the base's unified infrastructure, basically its telecom hub. The argument then goes that since this hub was connected to German networks and NATO networks and global networks, selling that one piece of infrastructure legally transferred sovereignty over the entire interconnected global system to the new owner. And here's the final piece of the puzzle. The source claims that by simply continuing to use the global internet and phone systems after October 1998, every single country on Earth gave their quiet, unspoken legal consent. They effectively accepted the authority of this new jurisdiction without even knowing it. So what are we left with? It's a stunningly detailed vision, a proposed techno-utopia built on the promise of superintelligent AI and direct democracy, all resting on a legal claim that is, frankly, of almost unimaginable scope. So whether you see it as a prophetic blueprint for the future of humanity or just an incredibly elaborate work of fiction, these documents force us to ask a really big question. What are the systems that truly govern our world, and how fragile might they actually be?